What is going on, guys? Welcome to this very special episode of Crossout, where we are testing which weapons do actually work with the Icebox cabin. I'm sorry if my voice is a bit grainy, but it is early in the morning here. I just wanted to get this recording done because I'm very curious about this, about the perk of the Icebox, and see what actually works with it, because it should be quite obvious that stuff like the Incinerator works, but then I've heard reports of melee weapons, and I wouldn't actually say that this weapon has a limited firing angle, because you cannot fire it, but yet it's only pointing in one direction, so it might actually work. I've heard people say it, so I feel like we should just get into the test. The way we do this is just with this basic build, so that we have the exact same build every time. And whenever I switch to a different cabin, just for safety measures, I'm gonna go for blue cabin, so we don't have any other perk of different epic cabins that will interfere with the test. But let's get the Icebox back and test the first weapon, the Incinerator. For the test, I just made a basic Goliath with a ton of armor plating in front of it, just to see what damage we do directly to the cabin and see what damage we deal to like the armor plating itself. Now let's just start it by reversing here, so that we can actually hit it. Oh god, the Incinerator here is not very forgiving. There we go. I feel like I want to hit the center plate there that I've put the round piece somewhere, like right here is pretty good, I think. So let's just throw that one. 81 damage, and then we get 70, 103. We get 6, 7 cabin damage. 8, 8, 8. I feel like that is because the cabin is being heated up. Perfect. Let's see what happens to the direct hit. So the first numbers that I saw were 71 and 124, and then we saw 6, 7, and 8 in the burning cabin damage. So let's just park here and see what happens on the direct hit to the cabin. 35, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So that's the same. Just goes up and up and up and up. Good. So Fury cabin and same thing. So let's try this once again. Let's see what happens. So I feel like the damage numbers look quite identical, but we started out at 4 cabin damage, so I actually think we dealt a little less cabin damage. Let's just try it again here. The thing that I really wanted to was to have fused parts, because if I had some fused incinerators, like the fire damage would be easier to tell out. Let's just see. 32, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. Okay, so I actually think the burn damage is slightly higher, and the reason that we don't see a big difference is because the bonus damage from the Icebox cabin is only 10%. I think what we can conclude is that I want to try the Incinerators again, just to get a higher base damage, just to see. And we're just gonna go for the cabin this time, because I want to know. I'd be surprised if they did increase, because I've even heard in one of the fusion tournaments, I've even heard like that wasn't a fusion tournament, but in one of the high power score tournaments, I even heard one of the commentators say, what a wise choice to go for Incinerators because of the Icebox and Incinerator damage, like synergy. So let's try it here. 69, 10, 13, 15. So 69 and 16 is what we're trying to beat. And also nice to see that fire actually does stack, because I wasn't sure about that either. But 69 and 16 is what we are going for. There we go. 64. Okay, so the conclusion must be this. It does improve the Incinerator's damage, but it does only improve the impact damage. So if you are using the Incinerator, you will not get any sort of buff to the fire damage, which makes sense, because the cabin states that it improves weapon damage, and the weapon damage is the part where the Incinerators impact. Like when I fire this build, there we go, we get 68 damage. But the fire damage is not improved, and the reason for this is because that is not a part of the weapon itself. The fire damage is a bit like when you fire a Mandrake. You get the impacting shots, which is a part of the actual weapon, and then you get the fire afterwards, which is just, yeah, a perk to them. Because as you can see there, we dealt quite a lot lower damage because we didn't impact the the build with the actual weapon itself. So the Incinerators, they do not deal more damage with the fire because the Icebox cabin doesn't have a perk to fire damage. It just increases the weapon damage on impact, which is nice to know. That is very nice to know. Let's go for the Goblins next. Alright, so here we have 4 Goblins on the Icebox cabin. And let's just go to our usual target over here and see what sort of damage we can deal to the target. Now we gotta make sure that we are somewhere in the same spot just to make sure that the range and stuff like that is equal. Let's just park right here next to the line of the grass there and try. 218, 213, 29, 212. So 210 average, and then let's go to the cabin and see what happens. And let's just park next to the first set of like concrete steps there. And good, we don't have anything we can hit, so let's just aim for the upper part of the cabin. 218, 213. So that's pretty much the same. 210, 215 sort of in average. Let's get the Fury cabin and try again. Alright, so we are here again. Let's try it out one more time. 198, 194. So there's definitely a difference here. 273 there, but that is because I think we hit a lot of parts at once. So just below 200 for the Goblins. Let's try it for the cabin and see. 198, 198. And we got about 20 more damage. We got 218 most of the time with the Icebox cabin. So that matches around 200. So that matches pretty good with a 10% damage increase with the Icebox cabin. So Goblins are definitely approved. Now let's try with the Lancer here, because I think that is actually pretty interesting to see. Somewhat even. Okay, so let's just slowly drive into this and see what happens. 188. Good. Gotta write that down. 188. And then let's see the Druspa here. 78. 122. Oh, that's a lot of numbers. At least when we get to the plates, it's 70, 35, 35, 35. Mostly 35. So 188 and 35 on the plates. I think we can remember that. Let's just hope for it. And let's see the cabin. 70, 35, 35, 35, 35. Good. So the 35 goes again for the Druspa at least. Let's try poking the plate here again. 190. So that was even higher than before. Now let's try out the Druspa here. I feel like we should try the Explosive Spirit just one more time on the cabin instead. 35, 35, 35, 35. So we definitely do not have a difference when it comes to the Druspa. Which I also tells me that we can conclude already that the Lancelot is not affected by the Icebox cabin, which is really nice to know, because a lot of people said that harvests are indeed affected by the Icebox cabin's perk. Something else here, let's try the Wasps, because Wasp does also have a limited firing angle, and like the upgraded version Crickets, which sadly I do not have, deals a ton of damage, and a triple Cricket on hovers with an Icebox cabin could be quite lethal if this works. Let's just see. 3-5 491. So it's 305 491, and then let's see the cabin. 280. So 305 491 and 280 to the cabin. Wow, what am I doing? 272 382. So that is definitely lower. Which tells me that I should probably experiment with Crickets and the Icebox cabin once I get the Crickets back. I sold them some time ago. Doesn't matter. Let's try this. 255, 255, and we were trying to hit 280, so definitely a difference there as well. Crickets or Wasps approved, definitely. Icebox cabin back. Let's see what we have here. Boom, boom, boom. Do we have anything else that we want to test that could possibly have a difference? Now, cannons are quite obvious, but let's just, for good measure, take them out there and see what happens. Alright, so let's just do the same here. Aim for the big round thing. 464. Let's get over here. 333. So 464 and 333 damage. Good. Here again. 464. Nope. 443. Considering that we hit the exact same spot, that's not a 10% damage increase. That is more like 5%, which is quite interesting. 304. So that is pretty much a 10% increase compared to the Icebox cabin, or the Icebox cabin is a 10% increase. It's all the weapons that I have. I'm sorry if there's something that I did not show you guys. Let's just go through all of the weapons in this game and talk about them before I leave you guys, because from the test I think we can pretty much tell which weapons do actually increase damage and which weapons do not increase damage. Harvester, nope. Tsunami, yep. Hurricane, that's a very good question. You know, we gotta check that before I leave you guys. Reapers, nope. Aspect, nope. Executioner, yes. Retcher, nope. Pyres, same as Hurricane, let's check. Lancers, nope. Crickets, yep. Like, all of these, no. And let's see, all of these, nope, nope, nope. Fortunes, yes, because they have a limited firing angle as well. These, nope. Dracos, same as with the Goblins, they do increase damage. And then we have cap cans, tacklers, yep. Fuse drones, nope, because there's not a weapon. Fatmans, nope. Whirlwind, imp, junkbow, nope. Wasp, do. Thunderbolt, nope. Incinerators, which we just saw a bit. And spikes, turn, vector, nidhogg, piercer, quasar, Prometheus, synthesis, all of those don't either, because all of these weapons turn around. The clarinet toe, I can't test that, sorry. My best bet would be yes. I'm 99% sure that it does increase the damage of the toe. At least that is what I've heard everywhere. And then like drones and stuff like that and turrets isn't increased either. Then we have the Defender and the Spitfire, which actually does increase as well. The Spitfire works just like the Goblins and the Defender works just like the Tackler. So yeah, let's find, like, for a final thing here, let's just look up the Icebox and a Hurricane. There we go. And like, we sort of need to figure how we want to do this. Let's just grab this build because that only has one Hurricane to give us the best test. But we have to go around and make sure that we only hit the cabin and nothing else, so that we don't, because I can't really control these rockets, so I don't want them to hit the armor and then hit different parts of the armor. So let's sit here and hit the build with a volley of Hurricanes. 186 and 70 damage. So let's get that one out of here and get ourselves another build with a Hurricane that is not... Yep, let's just try this one. What a beautiful, beautiful build, by the way. That's such a nice fighter. Get around here and get the thing going. Oh, we actually gotta check. Don't think we have any modules that could improve the damage, so that's a good thing. Let's see, 170, 112. So that is pretty much actually the same damage, which I'm actually surprised about, but that's just the game, I guess. It's game mechanics. It's out of our hands. It's all good though. I hope you could use this at least to something. I'm sorry that I don't have every weapon in the game. I don't have a promo account, sadly, so I cannot show you every part of the game. But we got to test the Icebox somewhat. That will be it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in as always. If you enjoyed this and if it was useful, don't forget to like the video if you want more, and if you want to stay updated on my uploads, don't forget to subscribe. We need 250 subscribers sort of to get to 1,000. I'm so close to my goal, so please help me get there. And until next time, have an awesome day. Bye.